That's the model number. This is what the back of the TV looks like. Power board, digital board, the rest of that. These are the 3 capacitors that I changed. We'll see in the next video how to do that, what this TV does. This 46-inch Samsung TV, when you turned it on, it had a relay clicking. That's all it would do, is just click, 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 click. Well, when you take the back of the TV off first thing you always want to do is look at these guys here. And you got them all over the place. And as you notice on the top of them, they are flat. They got crosses in them, but themselves, the surface is flat. If you see anything like this, you see how it's got the brown on top? And you'll feel that it's curved. That one's curved, and that one's curved. I'm taking it in better light. And this is actually pop. That one's leaking, and that one's leaking. 1000 microfarad, 35 volt. Negative polarity is on the connector side. Make sure that your polarity gets put in right. Otherwise, if you put a cap in backwards or a capacitor in backwards, you'll blow that up. I'm going to change these 3 capacitors, and I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to show you how I change them in the next clip. Is this cap, that cap, and this one on the end. I'm only changing the 3 that's bad. You should change all 4 of these. There's only the 3 here that are bad. I got parts for 3. And the other one, I'll check it with my capacitor meter, make sure it's working fine. Now, a couple of people have been questioning how to change the capacitor out, and there's several ways you can do it. When you want to have your iron on the bottom of this lead down here, and you're just going to push the direction opposite of where you're at. So if your lead's in the back, you push forward. If the lead's in the front, you push back. And then you work to just rocking it back and forth. That's all you're doing. I'm going to demonstrate. This is in the very back. You may have to resolder it. I use lead-free solder for these. I'm just resoldering all of them. Sorry about that. I'm just knocking off the solder on this. Not very well. Not a good iron I have. Anyway, so you go to the back and you're rocking it to the front. And what I just did, I made this capacitor go forward. See how it's pushed up? And now when I do the front, I'm going to push it back towards the heatsink. Capacitor's out. Do the next one. One leg's out. It's really easy to just do this. So when you take your TV to have your electronics shop fix it, and that's all they're doing is changing 3 capacitors out, and they charge you, I charge people $50. And I know a lot of people charge $100, $150, but they charge the price of a new board. Say they put a new board in it, and all they did was change these 3 lousy capacitors, and they're banking it. While you're thinking you get a good deal, they're changing at most $5 worth of parts, and then they're done. They're making top dollar for the little amount of work. Now putting them back in, it's going to be just as simple as taking them out, except for you got to check for polarity. And I'll show you that in a second. Polarity on the boards will have a mark. And you see that circle? That line right there? That's the negative side. This is the negative side. See that black that's on here? It's got little white little lines right there. That'd be the negative. The other side's the positive. You don't have anything. The negative goes toward that line. And I spread one leg against the board like that. You can't really see it because it's too far away. But I just spread the component legs against the board. So when I resolder it, I can cut it back here. And you're not going to have against the resistors. So using the same iron, I'm going to resolder it. Now some of these you will not be able to just take and use the same iron unless you want to try a trick, and that is simple as you get connection points where it's like this, when all you have is a solder blob and a hole. Well, then you have to stick the lead into that, heat that little hole up, and you're pressing the capacitor through. And then all you have to do is resolder that. And on this one here, I have both holes I gotta redo. Otherwise, you can go to Radio Shack, and they sell desoldering irons, and they have a desoldering pump, which you have to use two hands. The desoldering iron, you use one hand. I have videos about that on my channel you can look at. So, when we finish putting these 3 capacitors in, the 4th one should be good, and I'll put it in the TV in the next clip. Now the TV works. Thanks for watching. See you next time.